Orleans Saints, Pelicans. The Sports Den show on once again. The Sports Den show on once again. Saturday night with LSU. We got a great show just for you. We got a great show just for you. 678-559-9510 is the call text line with your host, David King. The Sports Den show got everything. The Sports Den show got everything. The Sports Den show got everything.
Three-man rush. Randall stops, throws it as far as he can. I do not believe it! The Tigers pulled off another miracle! It was Demery Henderson who got it on the last play of the game! Now Warren. Looks in his direction, and he's picked off! It's picked off! And Tracy Porter again! He's running free! He's gonna go all the way! He's got stretched! It is a state touchdown! 70 yards on the return! Get ready to party with the Lombardi, New Orleans! It's already started. I'll promise you, my friends. The miracle in Miami has happened! The Saints have won the Super Bowl!
Welcome and congratulations to the 2009 Super Bowl champions, the New Orleans Saints. The pride that has made us proud. We haven't always been proud, and it's the pride of winning attitude that made us proud. It made us want the nation to know who we were and where we were. And this is what you got. Saying I'm still in the house and stand here to ask you to do it. I don't know no other way. Winning is the name of the game. They're gonna be that fun together, and you got to get this. All right, let's have the prayer. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, everybody.
And welcome to the Sports Den Show, everybody. I am your host, David King. And you are in this game where we can talk about LSU. We can talk about the Saints. We can talk about the Pelicans. We can talk about ULL, ULM, Grambling, Southern, Southeast. I mean, you want to go to the high school level, we can talk about West Monroe. We can talk about Evangel, John Curtis. I mean, we can talk about all the teams that we love to cheer for because we represent the great state of Louisiana, where we just do nothing but put players in professional sports. Oh, gosh. Well, today is Tuesday. If you're at home, your day is over with. You're home relaxing, probably sipping on some champagne, some wine. What the heck? You're probably sipping on some moonshine, some tequila, or maybe you're sipping on some milk, maybe a Coke, maybe some juice. Whatever you're sipping on. You're probably eating a little dinner as well. Hey, whatever you're doing right now, thank you for tuning in to the show. Hope your day went well. And if you're stuck at work, well, hey, I'm here to entertain you for another hour because that's what I do. I entertain. I entertain you. I talk about teams we love to talk about because I love talking about the teams that we love to cheer for and talk about. And I just want to just take the advantage to be able to do it with you. Everybody who's watching the live broadcast right now, such as Mike from Plaquemine. He's going, "What's up, player?" I say, "What's up, Mike? How's it going with you?" Mike has his own show on you now. Pretty good show, too. Very entertaining, interesting stuff, too. So, I want to say thank you for watching the broadcast. If you're watching on YouTube Live, please don't forget, hit the subscribe button and subscribe to the show, to the YouTube channel. If you're watching on Facebook Live, please don't forget, if you haven't already done so, like the page. And if you like the page, go ahead and invite all your friends to like the page as well. So a lot of good things going on in sports right now. You know, we are pretty much in the dog days of summer. We roughly got about 90-something days left till we can see some football. Oh, 90-something days. When it gets under 100 days for football season, that's when the anxiety and everything just start building up. And you start reading about OTAs and with the Saints. You start reading about players checking in for LSU, getting set into college and things like that. And it just builds, the anxiety just builds, it builds, it builds. And then when that week comes where it's time to see some, live football, I mean, I'll be excited just when the preseason starts. Just show me some football. But hey, we got 100-something days. We got less than 100 days left, 90-something days. So we got a little time. But there's other things going on in sports right now. Like, for instance, the LSU baseball team found out today that they're going to be playing against Mississippi State. 2 more games left. 2 more games left until they hit that World Series. I'm picking LSU to win the World Series. I know they had some struggles in the SEC. In the region, the Baton Rouge regional. But the team is too talented. Marineri is coaching some good ball. And, it's time for our Tigers to bring home another World Series. So, probably more breaking news that's going on right now for LSU, especially, is they signed a point guard named Tremont Waters. Now, I know LSU basketball has had its share of great players. We in my lifetime, I can remember Shaquille O'Neal, Chris Jackson, who later on became Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. Oh man, I mean, it's been a lot of great players. Big Baby Davis, Collis Temple the third was pretty good. Oh man, I'm just going back and thinking. Taurus Bright, who I think was pretty good. One player that played for LSU that didn't really reach his potential, Randy Livingston. Randy Livingston was a great player at LSU, had a little bit of time in the NBA, but he just wasn't the Randy Livingston I remember in high school. Now, I seen Randy Livingston play in high school. I mean, I remember the first time I seen him play, it was a tournament down in Baton Rouge. And I think he played at Newman High School out of New Orleans, if I'm not mistaken. Just completely dominated the whole tournament by himself, scoring, assisting, everything. But unfortunately, he had like a bad leg injury, a knee injury in high school, and it really kind of hampered his play throughout his LSU and through his NBA career as well. But there's been a lot of great players that's come through LSU. But I want to talk about this guy they signed named Tremont Waters. Now, I can sit here and tell you right now, just by watching some film on this kid, this guy is going to be something special for LSU. You could take my word for it. Believe me, I'm not an expert. I'm not a college scout. I'm not an NBA scout. I don't get paid for it, rather. Could I? Of course. I know talent when I see talent. And when I looked at this kid play, I said to myself, wow, this guy really does have some game. He really has game. And the more I started looking at him and started looking at some of his highlight stuff, I mean, I see an all-around game. And I started saying to myself, well, he's only a 4-star player. He's only ranked like the number 12 or 13 point guard in the country. Well, here's my thing. You could take 247, you could take Scout, you could take Rivals.com. You could take all those recruiting services, ball them up, do a hook shot, throw them away. I look at game film. I look at how a player does in the game, and I base my judgment on what I see him do in action. I don't base my judgment on, oh, well, this site has him recruited number one, so he got to be the best. No, not necessarily. But this guy is only ranked like the 12th point guard, 13-point country. But I'm gonna tell you something. I went ahead and looked at all the other point guards that was ranked higher than him, and it was all the same thing. Yes, you can break an ankle, do a crossover, great. You can hit a three, great. You can go to the goal and dunk, great. All of that is great. But when I looked at this kid, I seen something a whole lot more. I seen something a whole lot more than just, oh, just slashing, driving to the goal, uh, you know, um, dunking and stuff like that. So I see something else. Now I'm going to show you two highlight films of this guy playing, and you can take my word for it if you want to. You don't have to, but I would like for you to do it. But I'm going to let you see for your own self how good this guy really is. So I'm going to show you a couple of highlight reels. I hope they come out pretty clear for everybody to see. So I'm going to go ahead and load them up right now, and I'm going to let you be the judge for yourself. So here's some highlight reels of our guy. so that's pretty much the first video I wanted to show of him. And when you look at what this guy's doing, I mean, the guy is got quickness. Okay, you see he's quick. You know, he can break people down on the dribble. He can shoot a jumper. He's not afraid to go to the rack. He's not afraid to go in the big man, score under the basket. And here's another part of his game I like. He's not afraid. He's not unselfish, rather. He's not an unselfish player. You see how he's setting up his teammates for the dunks, setting up his teammates for layups. I mean, the guy is quick. He has ball handling skills. He can pass. He can score. Now, you know, this guy really reminds me. If I could compare him to a point guard that's in the NBA, offensive, as far as the offensive skill set, he reminds me of Chris Paul. He really does, because you remember, well, not remember, he still plays in NBA, but we don't, you know, I don't get a chance to really watch it because he went for the Clippers. But you know, I'm still thinking about his days when he was the Pelicans or back then the Hornets. You know, Chris Paul was doing the same thing, driving to the goal, you know, breaking people down off the dribble, you know, setting his teammates up. You know, he was doing pretty much anything he wanted to on the floor offensively. So this is what this guy remind me of. Now, they say he's 5'10". He might be 5'10". I don't know. He might be like 5'8", 5'9.5". But there's no question about his playing ability. You know, I don't even know if he could dunk. He might be able to dunk, but I ain't seen no dunking in none of his highlights. But the guy is nice. He has a real nice game. And I just really like what I saw from this player. And when I started looking at the other, as you say, quote-unquote, top point guards in the country that were ranked higher than him, it's the same thing. Yeah, they got a good crossover. Yeah, they can dunk. They catch alley-oops. You know, they can hit a jumper. But so can this guy. This guy is doing the same thing. Jared K. Whittington, how about them baseball boys? Yes, sir. They about ready to get to the World Series. And this is one of my administrators on the page. He said, there you go, David. Trust what you see over what you hear every time. Exactly. Because if you can't trust it with your own eyes, and guess what? It's going to be the blind leading the blind. Justin Skinner is in the sports den. He says, what's this? That's the highlights of the new point guard that LSU just signed, Tremont Waters. So we're talking about him right now. And to be honest with you, I actually got bored watching highlights of the other quote-unquote ranked players, ranked point guards ahead of him. I actually got bored because it's the same old thing. Not saying that they're not good. Yes, they're good. They're great players. Don't get me wrong. Well, let me rephrase this. They're great scorers. And if you ask me, there's a difference between a person being a great scorer and there's a difference between a person being a great player. And I want to talk about that a little later on. But I said to myself, man, well, there's got to be something that set this guy apart from everything else. Well, I did a little more digging on YouTube, of course, and I found another video of this guy. And this video right here is the reason why I think this guy is the best all-round point guard in the country. Let me show you. Well, before I show it to you, I guess I'll go ahead and set it up. So, you see what he can do handling the rock, you know, dropping off dimes or dropping off assists, passing the ball, if y'all don't know the street cred or the street word for dimes. And you see him hit the jumper, the back, you know, step back, shoot a three, and drive to the goal. This guy right here is a defensive player too. And don't take my word for it. See it from your own eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this other video. And mind you, I'm not really an engineer when it comes to working this program I'm working to show you the highlights. So please just bear with me as I try to perfect getting all these videos loaded and stuff like that. So, but I got to show you this video right here. And this is the video right here where I said to myself, this guy is the best all-around point guard in the country. Check this out.
OG, y'all new to the game.
Okay, that's the wrong video. Hold on 1 second as I try to get this thing loaded. I have got to show y'all this video. As I get the video loaded, I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about something. You know, there's a reason why I think this guy, and I'm going through the trouble of my live broadcast. I know it's not, you know, Sports Center-ish like, but I have got to show y'all this video as to why I think this guy is a #1 all-round player, guard in the country. I have got to show y'all this. If I don't show y'all this, then, you know, you're gonna say, man, well, why did this guy say he's the best player since SHAQ? Well, I'm gonna tell you, I could tell you all, you know, I could bring up all kind of points. I could say anything. But I want you to see for your own eyes. And just bear with me a second, because I'm going to get this video loaded and I'm going to show y'all what LSU has. So hold on a second. Oh man, now there's a reason why I wanted to show y'all this video. And this video was basically showing how he's a defensive lockdown player, ball on ball. Now when the video first came on, the event was at the Jordan Brand Classic, game or whatever that was. It's one of the National All-Star games that's hosted by Michael Jordan. And when you do an event at that Michael Jordan invites you to, you're good. As a matter of fact, one of the players at the beginning of the video that he was defending against was the number 2 rated point guard in the country. And what did he do? He D'd him down and he stripped the ball from him. Now there are other little things that I saw from him that really showed me that this guy is going to be something special. Number 1 was, he could play defense. Okay, number 2, he hustles. There was a clip of when, he was defending the guy handling the ball. The player passed the ball into the guy in the post. And what did he do? He went back to his man, but as soon as the guy handling the guy in the post started making a move, he dipped down and he swiped the ball away from him. Caused a turnover. When you look at another clip, you saw a clip of him shooting the ball. Well, shooting the ball. I'm left-handed, so I shoot left-handed. He was shooting the ball, and he shot a brick. Okay, so what did he do? He gets back on defense. And what did he do? When the guy on the other team tried to throw the outlet pass, he reached his hand up, batted the ball away, hustled to try to save the ball from going out of bounds, bounced the ball off the other man, and got the turnover. Got the ball back for his team. And here's another thing I saw as well. And all of this, that last video, all this was against the best of the best in the country. Here's another thing I saw as well. Here, when in the actual Jordan Brand Classic game, he showed sportsmanship. The other guy, he fell on the floor or something like that. Guess what he did? He went and helped the man up. So, I'm excited about this guy. And it's the little things that count. The expression that goes, the little things is what count. Well, that applies here. It's the little things that count. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. Just looking at those 2 films right there lets me know this guy is going to be something kind of special. Let me give a shout out. Tyler Goulet. I hope I pronounced your last name right, Tyler. But Tyler G. I'm just going to say Tyler G because I don't want to, butcher your last name. But Tyler G is in the house. He said, ready for some who that, man. Hey, that's what I was talking about earlier, man. I'm ready for some Saints football, too. Mel Man says string music. He talking about the way our future point guard at LSU is going to be stringing that music, you know, when he shoots the ball. And another one of my another one of my administrators on the Sports Den page, he says, Mr. King is in the house. What's today's topic? Well, we talking about Tremont Waters, the new signee for LSU basketball. And I just showed a couple of highlights of the guy, and this guy got me really all excited. He really got me all excited. So please bear with me as I'm going through multiple pages right here, making sure that I give some special shout outs to people. Let's see. There were a couple of people that just liked the video. Miss Melba Patterson, what's going on, Miss Patterson? Thank you for liking the video. Miss Deidre Graham, she likes the video as well. So shout out to everybody who is liking the video and also watching the show as well. But I want to get back to this young man because you seen it for your own two eyes. You seen it. So when this guy come to LSU and you start seeing that this guy's going to be probably the best player since SHAQ, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm really not exaggerating. This guy is going to be the best player at LSU basketball since SHAQ. Mark my words. He will be. And there's been some great players come through LSU. You know, College Temple III, great defensive player. But he wasn't really all that on the offensive end. You know, you look at, you know, Ben Simmons, you know. Well, Ben Simmons is Ben Simmons. I mean, I can't sit here and say he was a bad player. The guy was good in the fast break. He was good when it came to assisting the ball. But Ben Simmons just didn't have this. I'm sorry, he just didn't have it. He just did not have it at all. And you know, there are other great players that came through as well. You know, I'm trying to think of somebody, right? Antonio Blakeney, just pure outright scorer. And to be honest with you, I was so more impressed with Antonio Blakeney coming out of high school than I was with Ben Simmons. But Antonio Blakeney wasn't really all that on defenses. So, but this guy right here, Tremont Waters, mark my words, this guy is going to leave a mark in LSU basketball. You've seen it with your own two eyes. He can score. He can pass. He can play defense. And if this guy is not Chris Paul all the way, he's really close to it. He's really close to it. Now, I'm going to make a comparison here to two different types of players. And like I said earlier in the show, you have great scorers, but then you have great players. And and this is the best comparison I can make to contrast the two. Look at Allen Iverson. I'm going to compare Allen Iverson to Chris Paul. Allen Iverson, easily one of the top 50 greatest players in NBA history. Why? He can light you up for 50 at any given night. He can cross you over. He could dunk on you. He could do, you know, layups in the lane or with the big men and stuff like that. You know, but the thing about Allen Iverson was he was pretty good at stealing the ball too. But you know, but he could be beat on a defensive end as well. But you can't deny Allen Iverson was a great scorer. That's what he's known for, scoring. Now you look at Chris Paul. Chris Paul is a great player. When you think about the year that Kobe Bryant won the MVP, that was the year that I think the Hornets were like a half a game out of first place in the NBA when they went to the playoffs. But Chris Paul should have won that MVP that year. He was top 10 in scoring, number 1 in assists, number 2 or 3 in steals. You see the point I'm trying to make? You give me a player that's going to give me 18 points a game, 11 assists a game, maybe 5 or 6 steals a game. You give me that player because you know why? He makes the whole team better. I'll give you the player that's going to score 50 points, maybe have 4 assists, maybe 2 steals. I'll let you have that player because you know why? I can play team defense and shut that player down. But you can't play team defense against a player that can give me 18 points, 11 assists, 5 or 6 steals, 6 or 7 rebounds. You can't play team defense against that player. That's why I say there's a difference between a great scorer and a great player. Tremont Waters is going to be a great player. Mark my words on that. He is going to be a great player. Now, looking at the rest of the basketball team, one thing about this season, man, after this season, we're going to lose a lot of senior leadership. We're going to lose Duke Reef, who I think is a quality player. He might be a drafted player in the NBA. I'm not really sure what round. He probably be, second round, maybe late second, early third. But he's gonna develop to be a great player. Nice outside inside game. We're gonna lose Elliot Robinson. He's gonna be a team, but Elliot Robinson really hasn't been nothing but contributor for the LSU Tigers. Who else we gonna lose? We're gonna use Jalen Patterson. Jalen Patterson hit some big shots in his LSU career. One of my favorite players was Aaron Epps. Aaron Epps was the type of player he could come out, step out, and hit a three. He could be a nice small forward for a team in the NBA. I don't know if he's going to be. If he comes out and have a spectacular season, he might get himself to be a draft pick. But we're going to lose those 4 players right there. But Will Wade has done a great job of recruiting for LSU. He really has, because this first class, he signed 3 guards and 2 forwards. 3 forwards and 3 guards. And he might sign the number 1 point guard in the country out of Scotlandville in Baton Rouge this next season. Let's hope so. So that's a look of LSU basketball right there. When I seen this guy, when I read the news that LSU had signed this point guard, it was like, okay, great. He's 4-star. Wow, that's great. He probably help out the team. And I said to myself, man, let me just go see what this guy is about. And when I started looking at those 2 YouTube videos of this guy, I said to myself, man, this guy is impressive. It's really, really impressive. That's why I did a whole show on this guy. That's how excited I am about this guy, because I think he's gonna come in here to LSU and he's really gonna be an all SEC player, probably first team player. I think he's probably gonna be a first team SEC player his sophomore year. I really do. And when you look at the guys that he's gonna have, the 4 guys I mentioned, I'm not sure if he's gonna start. I'm pretty sure he will start. I'm pretty sure he will start, along with Jalen Patterson, Reeve, Epps. This guy's going to make LSU a whole lot better. I really think he's going to make everybody a whole lot better. And speaking of Will Wade, one of the things that I really liked about Will Wade was this. Will Wade came into the LSU basketball program. And I think this is probably one of the first meetings he had with his players. And from what I read, he looked around the room and he said that half of the players did not have any LSU gear on, any kind of LSU clothes, anything like that. And he turns and looks to the players and he said, that's why I kicked y'all butt last year. I was like, what? Now, could you imagine being a player, one of the players on this team, when your coach says that? This is why I kicked y'all tail last year. And he did. Remember last season in some kind of tournament at the beginning of the season, VCU beat LSU. He ain't lying. But this lets me know that this guy is going to come in here. He ain't going to take no mess. He is not going to take no mess. And when you look at the interview he had with Paul Feinbaum, I call him not Finebaum, Finebaum. I call him Finebaum, Finebumb. That's what I call him, Finebaum, because that's what he is, a bum. But anywho, that's neither nor here or there. When you looked at the interview that he had with Paul Finebaum, I think it was last weekend or something like that. It was like the coaches convention or something like that. The things that he mentioned is that he's gonna change the culture at LSU, and believe it or not, Johnny Jones did not have a winning culture at LSU. That's why he's not here. I was cheering for Johnny Jones the first couple of years, but when you don't show me no improvement, done. Especially when you have a team that you can win with, done, and you don't do nothing with it, done. But Will Wade said that basically he's going to have a team that's going to play hard, that's going to hustle, and that's going to play with discipline. And I believe him 100%. I really believe him 100% because when you come into your new team and you say something like, this is why I kicked y'all butts last year, oh, yeah, you coming in here meaning business. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. With the talent that LSU has, and LSU has a talented team. LSU definitely has a talented basketball team. And the talent that LSU has on basketball, if Will Wade is even decent with X's and O's, then that means that LSU is going to go to NCAA tournament. It ain't going to be no NIT. It ain't going to be no old... we just going to win 2 games in the SEC and then go home. LSU way more talented than that. And if Will Wade can coach these guys to be halfway decent and can be a pretty good X's and O's type coach, you can look forward, punch a ticket to LSU being in the NCAA tournament. Now, whether they win the SEC or not, I don't know. Kentucky's always going to be good. Florida's always going to be decent. Of course, you got South Carolina again, which shocked a whole lot of teams last year. So we'll see. We'll see if they can win an SEC tournament. Win an SEC or not. But mark my words, if Will Wade can halfway decently coach his team, then this team is going to go to the NCAA tournament. Oh, man. Well, I'm just going to cut the show a little short. Looks like I'm having some issues with my stream on Facebook. For some reason, it just keeps cutting in and out. Don't know why. I really don't know why. But, yeah, I'm not really sure why my stream is this. My stream is working fine on the YouTube live. But it's just the Facebook Live that's having issues. But I want to thank everybody for watching the show. Mike from Plaquemine, all the administrators that commented on. I'm not really sure who made what comment because it just said Sports Den. Tyler G, Mailman, Jared. Thank you everybody for your comments. And you know what? I'm really excited about LSU basketball. I really am. And I wanted to get this show on the way because when LSU basketball season starts, it's going to be right in the middle of football. So that means it's going to be right in the middle of our Saints getting ready to go to the playoffs, and it's in the middle of our LSU Tigers getting ready to win a national championship. Ooh. Did I say that? Okay. Okay. Well, let's not go overboard. I think LSU will go to the playoffs in football. Win a national championship? Well, we will see. We will see. But that's going to be for my preview, though. That's going to be for my preview. And the week before, and the show right before LSU football season starts, I'm going to go ahead and predict every game LSU is going to win. Not only that, I'm going to give you a score prediction. Now, how you love that. But anywho, thank you everybody for watching. It's been definitely a great show. Yes, indeed. Hey, Tremont Waters, welcome to LSU. All the signees that signed with LSU, welcome to LSU. You're gonna hear this song in the Death Dome. Yes, sir. You're gonna hear this song. It's gonna get you pumped up and ready to play.
The LSU ball.
And you don't want no trouble. And you don't want no trouble. And you don't want no trouble.
The LSU ball.
Say you don't want no trouble. And you don't want no trouble. And you don't want no trouble.
The LSU girls.
Say you don't want no trouble. And you don't want no trouble. And you don't want no trouble.
The LSU girls.
And you don't want no trouble. And you don't want no trouble. And you don't want no trouble.
They call me Ellie Kemp, yeah, I thought you knew. Probably see me in the film, number 22. Still rolling through right over you, ha ha. But what you wanna do? Catch a heart attack, cause we bring the pain. When that go with the band from Tiger Land. Cheerleaders flipping, doing a handstand. When I'm in 2000, screaming fame. Watching Mike the Tiger, he another ace. Set up visiting team, y'all Tiger bait. Don't go in that valley, not the place to be. Up the better stadium in the SEC. Georgia, Florida, and Tennessee. No LSU in the SEC. Offense, defense, and special teams. Oh, them balls so fresh, so clean. It's going down, it's game time. We ready, boy, we gotta shine. For 60 minutes in overtime, we ready, boy, we gotta shine.
I'm like, how look, what it do? That dude in the van in the bottom of the U. I hit the field before attitude. I'm at Fall Fest and Pep Rallies too. Nah, they don't want it with LSU, man. Don't even try to bring it to the LSU band. 325 deep, she correct your brain. Ask any type of fan, ain't a better pregame. LSU, the best in the SEC West, plus Cali. Call Reggie Bush, cause I know that dude don't wanna see us in that valley. Nah.
LSU ball.
And